Hello, and welcome to the Godplane. Episode 2, The Tides of Mist. Pepa, you blink. No, you actually blink. Your eyes are not buttons. You inhale sharply, and you're back. You're yourself again. You can feel your skin, the body that you were born with, moving and flexing around you. Tell us, what does Pepa feel about this sudden revelation? And do you want to tell us what you look like? Or is this something you're going to keep to yourself for now?
No. So Pepa sees kind of pale skin, freckles, dotting up their arms, kind of these light brown freckles. Their face is very sharp, angular, these almost glowing blue eyes, long blonde hair done down in a single kind of fishtail braid that goes mostly in front. They wear heavy silver, or like a blue silvered sheen armor, large pauldrons on both sides of their shoulders. Everything they wear is very ceremonial, very meticulous, very clean. Standing at around 5'7". They have 2 blades on each hip, and so they're kind of looking at their hands, their palms, unarmored, but the backs of their hands are kind of cloaked in almost a very flexible metal. And they look down at themselves, and they almost feel themselves shaking. She touches her face, feeling the warmth of the skin beneath. As she touches her skin, she begins to look around where she is. She calls out for her name. Layla? Layla?
As if in answer to your cries, you hear a name. Not just a name, your name. Your true name. But it slips from your mind and it's gone before you can fully place it. Pain blossoms in your shoulder. You're disoriented for a moment before the ground rushes up to slam into you. You find yourself dazed, sprawled in the dirt. A battle rages around you, filling your ears with the ringing of bone and claw on metal, howls of pain and shrieks of rage. Your weapon is still gripped in your hand. And as the ringing in your ears clears, you find a terrifying bird-like creature, all rough-scaled skin and talons and brown-black feathers and a razor-sharp beak looms over you, screaming a war cry. What do you do?
Pepa, shocked, slightly disoriented, but the movements of battle and getting engaged, in a sense, are almost second nature to them. And she pulls out both the short swords that are lodged in just the holsters by her hips, taking it out and stabbing the creature, attempting to in the neck, just both sides, dragging down towards her.
You cut in and drag down, and you hear it cry and recoil. And another one comes in just as quickly to replace it. But you hear that name again. Your name. Why can't you remember it? And as the world suddenly overloads your senses and you suddenly feel your limbs grow heavy as you try to pinpoint whatever is calling out to you, just then, one of these birds slams an attack down on you, beak snapping as it descends, but it stops just inches from your face, held back by the sudden appearance of an arcane shield. You look up and you see her. Layla. Dame Layla. A splash of blood covers her face, but she looks otherwise just as you remember. What do you see as you look at her?
they see the love that they have but could never attain. They see a strong, beautiful woman, darker brown skin, these kind of olive undertones, strong nose, pointed chin, also with braid but done up in almost a bun, kind of circling. She stands again in the very same armor that Pepa wears. You see these large pauldrons on each side, and displayed on one of them is what looks to be almost a spider of some sorts. And Pepa is just filled with joy at seeing their partner, but not partner, only partner in battle. A smile comes across their face as they look up to Layla. And they say, "You came!"
With a loud clap of thunder, Layla shoves the monster back and steps closer to you to give you the space to get back onto your feet. She looks down at you, a smile playing over her lips. I'm starting to think you like being a damsel in distress. Aren't you getting tired of my saving your ass yet?
I will admit I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing you above me. But not like that at all. I'm going to get up now, and they get to their feet, just heavy blush across their face.
Layla laughs and grabs a little silver spider which hangs from around her neck from a chain. And she holds it up. She uses her spellcasting focus, as you know, and says through the spider, "She might not always be here for you, you know. She can't always show up in the nick of time."
Kind of bats it away a little, says, fine, I understand, but thank you anyway, as always.
She nods, and you two meet eyes for just a long moment. But then the moment passes as another shriek rings in your ear. You two spin and return to the battle, raging all around you. And you're as in step as you've ever been. You fall into a front-back line position as naturally as breathing and begin hacking away at the beasts that would pluck away the threads of the weaver for their own selfish desires. Make me a wisdom or a history check, please.
I'll do history then. That is an 8.
You're in a memory. You do manage to realize. You're overwhelmed at seeing this familiar face, being back in your body. Everything is happening all at once. And you charge into the fray, away from Layla. You can't quite remember why. But you charge forward, determined, running towards the monsters. You scream as you charge, driven forward by something. What is it? But as you run, the creatures around you start to slip from your mind. Their forms unraveling like thread or spider silk or mist. With another short, sharp breath, you wake. You don't really sleep, of course. Maybe it's just that weird fuzzy loss of time in this mist tunnel where you all have taken a short rest. Maybe it's just the nature of this place seeping into you. But you somehow experienced a dream as your button eyes gazed off into nothing. You notice a slight weight on your left shoulder. A pair of purple eyes peer at you. as a hairless cat with puffs of mist, creating not quite fur, ever forming, blossoming, and dissipating across its body, stands up on its back feet. Its front paws rest on your shoulder, its nose mere inches from your face. It stares into your eyes, head cocked. And though it's a cat, you swear that it smirks at you. And then it very clearly says, "She's not telling you everything, you know." And with that, welcome to the Godplane, Episode 2. This is an original horror campaign, and I'm your humble dungeon master, Kay Purcell. Before we proceed, I do want to give you a warning about the content of this adventure. Godplane is a horror campaign, and that means there will be some elements which some viewers might find disturbing. I've worked with this incredible cast, and I know their lines and veils, and we have a system in place so that we can quickly nope out if anything becomes too much. But that said, I don't know your limits, and I would like to encourage you to please approach the stream with caution, take care of your mental health, and take a break if you need to. With that, let's meet our incredible cast, and we're going to introduce ourselves in the order that we are in the overlay. Please tell us who you are, your pronouns, where we can find you, and who you're playing tonight. Candace, please kick us off.
Hi, everybody. My name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. My pronouns are they, she. I am playing Bo Astrius, your resident mason slash builder slash minotaur slash fighter.
And Piper.
Hi, everyone. I'm Piper. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie Matihi or Twitch at Matihi. And I am playing the Gepetan named Pepa. They're a little raggedy. And they're a soul knife rogue.
Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian. You can find me everywhere at Urban Bohemian. My pronouns are he, they, and I am playing Phineas, a College of Spirits bard, a bit of a dandy medium, and Phineas's pronouns are they, them.
And unfortunately tonight, we do not have the incredible Kerri Smith with us, but don't worry, I have plans for Dillon, and it's going to be just fine. She will be back next week, don't worry. We'd like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm. You can use !code in chat right now to get yourself an Electrum chest to redeem. Thank you so much for sponsoring. Also, thank you to Bardly.io for the background music and to Ghost Stories Incorporated for our theme song. Also, special thanks to Cozy Spoon for the art, Jason Wooldridge for the graphic design and overlay, and our mods, Emily, Jason, David, and I forgot who else is modding right now, but you all are wonderful, and I am so grateful. We are using Twitch's new shout-out feature too, which looks like it's been working. I've been trying to watch chat while also doing all the other stuff. Thank you, mods. Thank you, David. Could not do it without you. I'm Kay. I'm your Dungeon Master tonight. My pronouns are she, they, and the best place to find me is at KDamnFear on Twitter. What you don't see is my amazing behind-the-scenes co-DM, David Lee, who is hanging out in chat as Full Rubber Ducky. You can find him getting horrible ideas from chat for what to do to these lovely people. If you would like to counteract some of the terribleness that David and I have planned, you can help influence the game. You can redeem channel points for dream fragments. You can subscribe during the stream, and you can head over to our coffee page, link in chat, and donate. There are all sorts of miscaches of helpful items that are there, and the entire thing is outlined on that page, because I don't want to talk any longer here than I have to, because I want to get back to the game, which we are going to do right after this. And we're back. Last session, our 4 heroes were brought to the Godplane by Purcell, the self-proclaimed voice and champion of the dreaming god. She explained that you all live in a reality that exists entirely within the dream of Ayuith, the dreaming god. A god which I will give you all for free, you all have never heard of, oddly. There is a nightmare which is seeking to wake the god, and if it succeeds, everything and almost everyone you've ever heard of will cease to exist. She's made it very clear that you are her last resort, but she's not exactly thrilled about traveling with you all. Together, you fought and felled an umbral beholder, affectionately named Mima by the chat, and encountered a desert filled with mysterious, terrifying sand penguins, or sanguines, if you will, before you stumbled upon the camp of a dreamer named Bice. Once a summoned hero, same as you, they were lost in the mist and now wait for whatever is to come next. They hinted at a previous relationship, or at least a deep connection to Purcell, and Pepa found themselves being watched by the purple eyes of a strange misty cat. Now, she suddenly finds herself staring directly into those eyes as this almost cat smirks up at you, Pepa. The rest of the party is nearby, chatting amongst themselves, having just escaped that very depressing plane. Though no one seems to have noticed this creature yet. She's not telling you everything, you know.
Pepa rolls up and looks at the cat, says,
What do you mean that she's not telling me everything? Layla?
Oh! I don't know, Layla.
Oh,
No, I mean Purcell.
well, I assumed. She does not seem like the speaking type.
Yeah, that's fair. She and I, we've got a complicated history, and, yeah, she's not exactly forthcoming, is she?
No. More she wants to avoid things if she can and talk down to us at other times. Who are you?
Oh, me? How rude of me. I'm, what would you like to call me? I like names. Names are fun. I kind of collect them.
as Pepa stews, and as they go to pull their string again and let go, out comes a very tonally strange, "You're my best friend!" And see Pepa
I like you too.
holds it again.
Sorry, that was... I like you as well, maybe not like that.
I can
I do
help
not-
you with that, you know.
Oh, names? Or...
I mean the string thing.
Really? How
I
so?
might be small, but I have powers here in the mist.
Be perfectly honest, it's a bit hard to trust people that you've first met. Then again...
That's fair.
Gestures to their companions.
Yeah.
I will name you Lancelot.
Lancelot, that might be one of the better names I've had. Thank you.
Oh.
Hello,
Well,
I'm
hi.
Lancelot. I'd like to be a friend. Or at least not an enemy.
We will see, Lancelot. But for now, we'll say a tentative friendship.
If you ever want more than just a
Then-
friendship, I can make deals.
If you're talking about getting rid of the string issue, then maybe.
I mean, we make a deal. I can do a couple things to help you out. Like, I can make you stronger against things like me. Really useful here in the mists.
So you are
I
part
can
of the
even let you
mist.
talk to the mists.
Pepa leans back, thinking.
Can you get
It
my
won't
body back?
Now that's complicated. I can do some research. I can try. That I can't promise, but I can at least make it so you can talk without having to pull the string. Unless that's your thing. I mean, if that's fun. I don't know what entertains dreamers.
And as they again pull the string to speak,
I say, it is quite infuriating, I will say, but the string has uses besides just speaking.
Well, I mean, you can keep it on if you want.
I may consider, yes. But how do I know that this deal that I make will not go wrong for me?
I mean, you've got my word.
Words don't always mean much.
No, but I am a devil, and we are
Oh.
really good about keeping our words.
Can you write up a contract?
No.
No?
Holds up little toe beans.
Oh, darn.
But, I mean, my word is my bond, and it won't even cost you anything you'll miss.
What will it cost me?
I just need a piece of your power. Not your soul. It has nothing to do with the soul. Everyone's worried about the soul thing. It's not a soul thing. I just need to be able to make a connection so that I can, give. I'm a very giving person.
I feel like I'm going to regret this later, but this is also an annoyance.
Pepa holds out a stuffed canvas hand to the cat.
Deal.
The cat reaches out and puts like a little toe beans against your hand. But as they do, you feel something very large, potentially larger than your whole body, close gingerly around that little stuffed hand and shake.
Oh,
And you
no.
are given the blessing of the Mist Cat. You
Oh.
be able to add 1d4 to any attack roll against any creature made of mist. Once per long rest, you will be able to ask a question of the mists. Mechanically speaking, you'll ask a question and you'll make a wisdom roll to see how clearly you understand what the mists are saying or feeling about that question. The more complex the question, the higher the DC. And as you are kind of feeling this knowledge slide into you, the cat nods. Also, I'll be tagging along, following you around, to offer any help where I can. Just do me a favor.
Yes.
Don't mention me to Vassal.
Done.
Pleasure meeting with you.
Pleasure meeting with you as well, Lancelot.
What do you go by here?
Pepa. It's also a gifted name.
I mean, gifted names are pretty great. Sure would be nice for you to know your actual name, wouldn't it?
It would. I do not know if I should be making any more deals this day until I see how this one pans out.
No problem. Just was kind of wondering if maybe you thought that might make you vain. Not sure. Lovely doing business with you. Don't worry. I'm always nearby.
Oh, good.
And with a wink of one large eye, they vanish in a little puff of purple smoke. And you and your companions are recuperating after that encounter with Vice in a mist tunnel.
What do we see? Do we just see, like, Pepa in the mist, like...
Yeah, Peppa's just kind of talking to themselves.
Pepa, are you all right? what we just experienced, meeting Bice and Vassal is just the way Vassal is. Are you all right?
I am alright.
And Pepa toddles over. Does Pepa have to pull the string still to speak, or is that gone?
You instinctively reach, and before your hand even grips the string, you find the words forming in your stuffed little mouth.
There's some relief that kind of washes over Pepa's posture as they walk up to the group. They say,
No, just slightly emotional from that last place that we were at. Give myself a pep talk.
Oh, that's delightful. And you see Bo's like great shoulders just kind of like bouncing up and down with this like deep chuckle. As she kind of like starts to kind of stretch out and just really kind of take up space now that she sees everybody's okay. Phineas, that was something. Bice, what do you think that means about our leader?
I rather think she's not telling us everything that perhaps we might need to know. Which, to be fair, I can sort of understand. But meeting Bice and Vassal's reaction, it makes me wonder who else might also be lost.
Yes, and how lost we might get.
I was choosing not to think about that.
Dillon shakes their head and is like, yeah, maybe we just don't think about. That might be better if we just don't.
I do not know how much we should trust Vassal, but
Pepa kind of looks down and looks back up and says,
if you would like, I do have ways for the group of us to communicate secretly, if need be, without Vassal's knowing.
Really? We might need to. I don't think that she inherently has ill will. Our destiny seems very much tied up in her own, but I'm just not. I just have a lot of ill ease. We did just get here after all, and it's taking some time to reach the end.
Yes. I don't know how long it will take, or... Well, if the true ending that Vassal says is the true ending for us getting out of here. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
I mean, the killing a god thing seems to be rather large. I just wonder if we're not simply here to do something that she's been unable to for who knows how long.
Well, as surly as she likes to be, you'd think that she'd show a little more appreciation, since she can't do this on her own. I, for one, am very appreciative of the people that come and help me and aid me in building these beautiful castles and beautiful temples and wonderful displays of faith and knowledge and power. I can't imagine doing it all on my own. The design, yes, it's all on my own, but the rest of it, you need help, and I just hope she recognizes that we're here for ourselves, but we're also a little bit here for her.
We didn't exactly have any choice in the being here for her part, but it is what we need to do if we wish to return to our lives. So I'm in. I just wonder. I don't know if she doesn't like us or simply. And Phineas is thinking about meeting Bice and thinking about Vassal's face in that area. perhaps she simply just wants to see the end of this.
I don't think she's alone.
Perhaps. But we should still maintain eyes just in case.
Coming from you, that is quite a statement.
You are correct. I do not possess fleshy eyes like you.
Fleshy,
Sorry.
please. Dillon says, please don't. Fleshy
I
eyes is not.
apologize. I don't know how to describe not button eyes anymore. It's been a long time.
You may
You're
have
just-
button eyes, but you have quite a worldview. I've seen you notice all sorts of things, and every time that you have such powerful words to say, Phineas, it might not be the same for you, but for me, I find my unease beginning to fade as you slowly become someone that seems to at least know a little bit about what's going on here.
Pepa just kind of smiles widely. All you see is that like void of stars in their mouth. There's no teeth at all in there. Just very happy. They say,
Well, I'm glad I can put you at ease. And I offered it to you, Bo, earlier, but Phineas and Dillon, if you ever need something soft to hug, let me know. But I'm used to being in strange places, being unaware and unknowing, not knowing where to go and just going forward. That's not really strange to me, unfortunately.
I confess it's not entirely unknown to me either.
No, one does tend to move along in life and find one's path wherever it leads. I'll be honest, this was not in my wildest dreams. Perhaps might not be the best phrase there, but you understand what I mean.
Indeed.
Speaking of moving on, Phineas, are you checking that compass?
Oh, yes. How are we in duration and blinkitude?
So you're getting a shorter blink. It's not going to last that long. But you do notice something very strange this time. There is the usual needle pointing the direction that Purcell, who's gone a little bit ahead of you, giving you all some space. But you see a second needle. This one is bright, dazzling blue, white in color, and it points off to one of the misty walls, but down low.
So,
Like right towards the ground. Like right almost just above ground level.
is it blinking? Is it steady? Is it solid?
It's solid. It almost seems to like not blink but pulse. Like it's excited.
I confess not to understand this device that Purcell has given us, except it does lead us to things, and it leads us where we need to go, and now it's leading us towards something else, in addition to where we need to go. I'm inclined to follow, but I am wary, because so far, nearly everything here has tried to kill us.
You don't have to go far. It seems to be pointing to something very nearby, within this tunnel, only a few feet away.
Well, it's not far.
Ah, heck. Well, at the very least, if whatever we find, I'll go first. If it kills me, somebody else can use this and follow us all. How
I
about that?
hope it does not kill you.
We'll
I
be
don't
ready
know.
if it does.
I'll be
Oh,
very
good.
sad.
That's a relief. Oh, that's kind.
Oh, well, you're very charming, so I like being in your presence.
Let's hope whatever's over there
Um.
thinks he's charming too. You don't want them to just evaporate.
I hope not.
We have broken Brian.
So, yes. Very warily eyeing the blinking needle, Phineas would direct everyone towards where the glowing blue one is pointing.
Yeah. You only step a little bit further and you have to kneel down. You press the compass into the mist and almost like a small cubby opens. You kind of have to lean over and look down. And within it, you find a chest made of what seems to be glowing blue-white mist.
I did not expect the mist to give us presents. I'm just going to put it out there.
Gifts?
Well, there's a box. And
Do you want me to check it if it's trapped at all?
oh, are you familiar in working with traps? Because
Oh, yes.
yes, they can be very messy and well, I really like this.
Poisonous.
I've never received a gift. Are they often poisonous?
You've never had a gift?
I mean, my talents.
It depends on the sender, to be quite honest, and whether that is in words or actual poison sometimes, yes.
Do be careful, Pepa.
Oh, I will. I do not know if this body can be poisoned, but I have not tested it. I will try not to get poisoned.
And Pepa will go over and attempt to check if this thing is gonna hurt us.
Roll me dexterity check or sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. I rolled a 1. That's a 7.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm so good at this.
You reach in and immediately just bap the latch, just the very first thing. And you have a moment of panic, and nothing happens. And you were quite certain that it's not trapped.
Okay, well, if it was, I might be dead. But for fine. It seems to be an actual gift.
I'll kind of push the box to Phineas.
Is it heavy? Is it?
It's very light. It feels like mist. It feels like you are holding nothing, and yet there is something solid in your hands. It's a very strange sensation.
Phineas then holds the box and actually points it towards Bo. You said you never received a gift before. I realize that this probably doesn't count, but perhaps something in this realm is looking out for us, and perhaps this is an offering from them, so it is at least safe to open. Would you like to be the first to look inside?
Oh, yes, I would. Thank you. And you see her kind of like very gingerly reach out. Her large, kind of soft, leathery hands kind of reach and take the box. And, like I look curiously inside it, like, not sure if I can trust this.
It's a chest lid, so you carefully open the lid. And you can't explain it, but as you open it, you feel whispers and encouragement and excitement and curiosity and concern for you rise from this chest as you find a mist cache that has been granted to you by Twitch chat. Within this chest, you find one greater healing shard and one superior healing shard. These items look like almost like potion bottles, but there's no stopper on it. It's just a solid piece of glass with blue-white mist swirling within it. And you inherently know that in order to use this, you don't drink it, you simply break it, and you will receive the benefits. You also find, it's very strange, a small sword. It looks like a long two-handed sword, but in miniature.
I I know that I'm the person who's opening this box, but this doesn't seem like it's just for me. And I take out the tiny sword, and it's like this big in my little hand. And I give it.
As you
to Pepa.
take it out, it rapidly starts to grow, even as the chest itself poofs away into mist. And you are quite suddenly holding a rather large two-handed sword, the blade of which is blackened at the tip as if by fire. You realize this very much resembles the sword you saw at the center of Bice's camp, not but a short while ago.
Oh no. Pepa, I'm sorry. I thought this was for you. Perhaps it's for one of us? And I look to Phineas and kind of like brandish this blade. Bice. Poor soul.
Anyone who would like to can make me a wisdom or an arcana check.
That's an 11 on Arcana.
Oh, 12 for me.
No.
No.
Pepa, did you roll wisdom or arcana?
I rolled Arcana.
Arcana? Okay. You and Phineas are both kind of looking at this, and you at least come to the agreement that this is not the exact sword you saw with Bice. So you did not somehow take this from that individual. You know that at Bice's camp, they had the blade driven into the ground. At one point, maybe for giggles, one of you tries to swing it at something, and the blade seems to fuzz into mist, as if it doesn't... This sword is not intended to injure. There's another use for it. And right about then, Vassal turns around. Have you recovered? Are you ready to go?
Have you recovered? I understand it was probably quite a lot to see someone who you meant so much to?
Encounters happen. We should hurry. We have much ground to cover.
Yes, I suppose so. All right.
We should proceed then. I believe, yes.
You all step towards the edge of the mist. And I need one of you to roll me a d20.
Not me.
I did it last time.
I will
did it
roll a
last time.
d20. It's me this time. I don't know if I can see my keyboard. We're gonna. I'm so sorry.
But we respect the commitment.
So amazing. It is such commitment. It is so impressive.
It's spectacular.
You might have to roll, Candace. I'm so sorry.
Pick a number between 1 and 20.
Oh, I will
9.
say 9, okay? I will say, as I pull this up, if any of you equipped your characters with healing potions, please keep your healing potions and your healing shards marked separately on your sheets. Just in case. Just for what it's worth.
No, I don't like that.
That makes me feel extraordinarily comfortable.
That's my job. That's what I'm here to do.
Okay, so
All
we
right.
had a in that we had a superior and a
You have a
regular.
greater and a superior. You may distribute those as you wish. For the record, these you will be able to consume as a bonus action. And you step into a featureless gray space. But this space is neither empty nor silent. A snake-like head perched atop a bipedal body twists, empty golden eyes locking upon you. It opens its mouth, and then another mouth in the center of its chest opens after. 2 more placed on either side of that one open wide. More and more fang-filled mouths open down the expanse of this creature torso as forked tongues flip out to taste the air. But that creature's not alone. A thick mist churns around its feet. From that mist, you can see strange mounds of what might be flesh covered in eyes and sharp-toothed mouths and strange claws rising and sinking, churning through it. The misty mounds around the bipedal creature suddenly focus on you and break away from it, charging at you. That snake-like monster lashes out with 2 unnaturally long arms with massive claws at the tips and snatches at 2 of those shapes. You hear a sickling as one of the fleshy, toothy abominations falls still, mouths going slack, mist no longer pouring from it. It seems to rapidly melt away into the ground. But that leaves 4 shapes, all charging at you. 2 to each side, snapping mouths and strange tentacles and nonsensical limbs rising from what seem to be mobile patches of mist as the snake-faced monstrosity charges at Purcell. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
21.
Okay, one moment.
Yeah, I'll hold for the order request.
I appreciate. And I remembered how to use my combat modifier. Okay, Bo, what was yours?
21.
21. Interestingly enough, Purcell also got a 21. Dillon got...
She can go first.
18. Pepa?
14.
Phineas?
15.
You do not have to go first, is the good news. All right.
That's the good news?
You like not going first.
Gosh, I mean, about this whole encounter is what I'm worried
No,
about.
I mean, this encounter is going to be fine. I don't see what y'all are worried about. Purcell goes first. She reaches out a hand and that huge 2-handed axe materializes from mist in her grip. Condensation forms across it and drips slowly off the enormous blade. There is no way, even as strong as she appears, she should be able to hold this weapon, and yet she spins it as she lets out a warrior's cry and charges at this monstrosity. She gets to make... Oh, she first rages, and we get to roll on the Dream Magic table. Ooh. Go away, sirens.
They're coming
Mist
for us.
fighting over
because
here.
Western
Yeah,
magic-
right? They know. They know. Mist coalesces around her and shimmers and then explodes outwards. You are all hit by this wave of mist, and you're surrounded by multicolored protective lights. You all gain a +1 to your AC bonus while you are within 10 feet of the Purcell. And then she gonna take 2 attacks at this mofo. Ooh, one is a natural 20 and one is a 19. So that is going to be nice. Alrighty. Sorry, y'all. So she cleaves into this thing. Spins her axe around and is prepared for the next go. Bo, you have this strange putty-like creature. Tentacles and mouths and arms, and a foot comes up, and it's this strange collection of parts that make no sense. There's eyeballs and teeth and pustules just appearing and vanishing as it goes. What do you do?
How far away am I from this creature?
It charged at you, so you've got only about 20 feet.
Oh my gosh. So I see it, and I just kind of like think to myself and whisper to myself, well, you've wanted to be more formidable. This is your chance. Go! And I launch myself. I start to run top speed, head down, horns forward, and I'm going to try and gore it.
Do it. Yes.
That is a 17.
A 17. If I can keep my stuff straight. That hits.
Woo. Okay, and that's an 8 damage.
8 damage.
As I connect with it, like my horns kind of meet it, I get the urge to like scream, and the rest of you can see like my eyes are really like tightly shut, like one's kind of open, and I'm like, yeah, that's like as much as I can muster, like a ah,
and I
then,
love
like,
to
back up.
This thing is really low to the ground, so you're like getting down and then coming up, and you actually lift it slightly off the ground as it sticks to one horn and then drops back down with this sickening little slurp sound.
Sorry, please don't attack me and my friends, please.
And is that your turn?
Yes.
Brilliant. With that, this monstrosity, the snake-headed monstrosity, with a legendary action, steps back. It brings its head down before it... Actually, I have a thing for this. Before it... And all of these mouths across the body start making sounds all at once and gnashing. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
10?
I rolled a natural 1 again.
10.
We're doing great, sweeties.
We are. We're great. We're really great.
They're really good. All right. No one has used their reaction. So everyone is prone to this. Candace, I'm going to give you a chance to give me a dexterity saving throw.
19.
All of you feel fear clutch at you deep in your hearts. And before any of you know what you are doing, you are running the opposite direction of this creature. You move half your movement speed before you stop, except for Pepa and Dillon. The two of you keep going. Bo, you are able to reach out in the last moment and grab Pepa as she just goes racing by. But you all watch in horror as Dillon vanishes into the mists.
Dillon? Purcell! Dillon is gone! Dillon!
Purcell looks back and goes, "Not again!" Phineas, it's your turn.
right.
This is fine.
No, it's not. Nothing's fine about this. Okay, so let's see. Looking back towards the let's see, what is ran about 15 feet back from where it was doing all this. Essentially, what is the lay of the land at this point?
Yes.
After Phineas catches themselves.
So the snake-headed creature has kind of charged towards Purcell. So snake creature, Purcell. Then having gone off to the sides are these 4 gibbering mouthers. There's one that's closest to Bo. The other 4 are a little further back. So you've got a 30-foot movement speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're about 45 feet from one. I assume that Bo and Pepa are on one side. You and Dillon were to the other side. So there's 2 facing down you now. While there's 2 facing down Bo and Pepa, and then Purcell is currently engaged with this snake-headed creature.
Okay. Then yeah, Phineas would like half looking after where Dillon has run and vanished, and just realizes that they will have to deal with whatever that is later. Faces down the 2 gross-looking assemblages of things running, and casts Dissonant Whispers towards the nearest one.
Okay.
Which is a Wisdom DC 14.
The natural 3, it's not going to make it.
Yay. So that's going to be 7 points of... I can never remember things. 7 points of psychic damage towards and yeah, you just see Phineas glaring down with resolve at this thing, and like mists just start rising up. Not the mists that we usually see, but these kind of green glowing ethereal mists, and they just have this horrible dissonant sound to them that almost is like an anti-sound towards the gibbering, and it's like it's just resonating and almost canceling theirs out.
Very nice. Is that your turn?
No, it is not my turn. Yeah, so I have to count in my head because I can't see things in my head.
Absolutely fair.
So yeah, after that, Phineas yells at Purcell that I sincerely hope you'd better find Dillon when we're done with this. And while it's not the most inspiring thing that they may have ever yelled, it actually is bardic inspiration for Purcell.
Wonderful.
It's a D8.
Thank you. Are you backing up anymore, or are you staying put?
Can I still able to move as well?
You've still got 15
always
feet of
get that.
movement.
Okay, I always get that a little confused.
You're good.
Yeah, because they're coming at, so Phineas is gonna back.
Okay.
Keep an eye on where
So you
the
put
mist
another
wall is.
15 feet between, so you're now about 50 feet from the nearest one.
Yes, please.
Pepa.
Now, Pepa is standing near and next to Bo. The creature in front of us, is that the one that caused us to flee?
No,
Or-
the one that caused you to flee is that snake head thing that Purcell is fighting.
Okay, going to avoid that one. Just
Alright, I'm okay. Thank you, Bo.
and Pepa runs back and will take out again, conjuring one of these kind of iridescent blades, throwing it again at the creature in front. And they're kind of going to do a hit and run, so I'm using my bonus action essentially to dash away.
Okay.
So you see they run in and they slash and just dash They're just kind of going back and forth trying to hit this creature. And they will use the blade there. And I will get sneak attack since Bo is attacking as well.
Yes. Actually, Bo ran, so Bo is no longer threatening. But you are small enough that I will allow you the halfling ability to hide behind Bo, should you like.
Oh, I will definitely do that.
That makes sense with your size.
I did not, so I'll use this die. So that is a 14 to hide.
You feel hidden, but
Maybe.
you don't know.
And then I will roll to hit, which is an 18 plus 8, so 26.
You absolutely hit. Unfortunately, you do not get sneak attack damage because it rolled a natural 20.
That is a-okay. It sees even the tiny Pepa.
Even the tiny.
I think, yeah, so that will do 7 psychic damage.
Very nice. Oops.
The blade kind of explodes on impact.
Okay. And are you staying put? Are you running closer? Are you running away? What's your...
Pepa's gonna run a little bit away. Just like, sorry! And just kind of dashes further.
Brilliant. Okay, do you run like back next to Bo, or are you keeping a distance?
I'm keeping a distance from the creature. I'm just kind of like circling it at this point.
Okay,
but
so you're like
staying
circling
far
away
enough
from Bo?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep the battlefield in my mind. It's fun. Okay, so, sorry! Runs off, floating above the ground slightly like tails, because that just entertains me. And then the Mouthers are going to go. You watch them slurp under the ground. Bo, one appears next to you. Pepa, one appears next to you. Phineas, one pops up next to you, and one is just a short ways away. It can't quite reach you. But Bo, one next to you is going to snap at your hoof. But I'm assuming a 5 does not connect. It snaps and just kind of scrapes off of your hoof with a sound. And it's the one that you hit, and it makes this angry sound. And then it spits out a glob slightly behind you. I'm sorry, slightly behind it, which explodes. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. 4. A flash of light goes off, and you are blinded until the end of this Mouther's next turn. Pepa, the one with you is going to do the same thing. It comes in. Ooh, I think it will hit, though, with a 19.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you feel these teeth sink into your little doll form. And it seems confused by what it sinks into the stuffing, and you kind of feel it like, and this dry, almost scaly tongue kind of goes up your leg as it's trying to understand what happens. You take 9 points of piercing damage as it, and then lets go in confusion. And again, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh, goodness. That's an 11.
You two are blinded as you feel this thing, and you just react. Your eyes are open in disgust, and a light goes off before you. Hell, this is a tough fight. Phineas, does a 10 hit you?
No. I'm sorry, I always get AC wrong, I'm sorry.
No problem. You all have +1 to your AC, remember? Because of the soul.
I didn't know if we were still close enough to, close enough.
You're right,
to,
probably.
Because we
I got
ran
really
out
excited.
Of her armor fart, so.
You were correct. Did you say her armor fart?
Yeah. That's an AC fart.
Wonderful. So this thing comes snapping at you, and you're just like, no, no, thank you, no, thank you, and lift a foot and are able to avoid it. But I need you to make 2 dexterity saving throws, please. As both of these things.
12?
You
And a 13.
also blinded. You made the second one. Now, if you have any mist fragments, now might be a time to add it.
Oh, I do. Oh, that's right. That's a +1. Okay, then I will use 1.
So you avert your eyes as 2 flashes of light go off in front of you, and you are not blinded. And with that, it is Vessal's turn. She is going to hunker down and rage again. White blue mist explodes out around her, washes over you without a single reaction. But everything else on the board is going to take. How much are they going to take? They're going to take 14 points of psychic damage slam into every single thing that you are fighting as her rage just washes over the field. And Vessal will say, "Mind your eyes." Very useful now.
Thanks for that.
As she's going to take 2 swings with the blood axe. Nat 20 and a miss. It's 12. Sorry, a lot to keep track of. With a max damage.
Casal's killing it.
That's kind of the goal.
Let's hope she literally does. Yeah, let's go.
All right. She cleaves into this thing, and you watch her actually take off a lower jaw of that large mouth in the center of its chest. And it's hissing and gaping. Bo. Oh, you are muted.
Thank you. I'm trying desperately to shake this off.
Yes.
Not being able to see is arguably close to a nightmare for someone who relies so heavily on their sight for literally everything. And I kind of try to focus for a second and then strike where I know the creature is that I hit the time before. And I'm going to use my warhammer. 7.
You just right over it. How many fragments do you have?
I think I have 1.
1? Okay. Save
That's
that.
only going to get me an 8?
I appreciate that
Well,
that kindness.
all I'm going to say is, now you have 2.
Yeah.
Which will get you to a 9, which is all you need to hit these weird monstrosities.
Then yes.
So you burn your 2 fragments. Give me the damage.
Okay. Warhammer. Oh, 1d8. Ugh. 5.
5 is better than nothing. You slam down into this and you feel it squish under your hammer. You have 2 attacks per turn, so you can roll again.
I go again, yeah, for sure. I try to kind of come back on the backswing. That is going to be a 10.
10 will hit.
11.
11. You again squish down into this thing. It is not moving as fast as it was. You watch it kind of these weird appendages. An elbow rises up and falls down, and it's just moving sluggishly. You also notice that because you started your turn next to it, your hooves are sinking into the ground next to it, and it would be very difficult for you to move. With that,
creature?
the snake-headed creature next to Vassal looks at her. It is going to snap at her with its fangs and then go once with its claws. Only one is going to hit. So Vassal takes 11 points of slashing damage and 11 points of force damage. She does reduce both of those by half. She takes the hit and just glares at this thing.
I hear the connection. Can I react?
Sure.
So I hear, like, next to me, I can kind of make it out, but it's fuzzy. And I hear her kind of absorb the brunt of this. And I lash out with my hammer to try and kind of get it with both hands.
Do it.
I got a 10.
You swing wide over this much more dexterous creature, and you hear it overlapping hisses slung your way.
That's 7 damage.
You missed.
Oh, I did? Dang!
Yeah, this one has a much higher AC than the Mouthers. Phineas.
The first Mouther that Phineas attacked, what did it appear to have much of an effect from?
It took damage. It did not seem to take an excessive amount of damage.
That's just rude.
Or a reduced amount of damage. It seemed to take the damage you expect from your brutal charisma.
Then I think. Oh shoot! Actually, no. That's not in range. Or wait, is it? I don't know. Oh, I will not worry about that. Then no. It's more whispers time. From Phineas. It seemed to have an effect, and they're going to continue. So yes, another Wisdom DC 14.
I do have. Hold on. Let me just check.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does not make it.
Wah wah. Too bad. Then yes, that's going to be another. Oh, that's a good roll. Finally. That's going to be 14 points of damage.
14. Very nice. You watch this thing. And mist is pouring out of it, and for just a moment you watch that mist turn green as your whispers permeate its entire being and do it damage. Pepa. Oh, do you have bonus action?
Not this. Oh, well. Oh, actually, yeah. 'Cause Phineas had to witness all of that happen. So let's see here. I can do. Yes, all the inspiration is going out. Pepa, I know that you can't see, but I'm not ever sure you did see. So perhaps you don't truly need sight to do. Again, this is not sounding as inspirational as it should, but I believe in you. It's another D8 for Pepa.
Thank you. No one said that to me in a very long time. It's really nice.
So wholesome. At the end of your turn, I need you all to once again make a wisdom saving throw. As this snake-headed creature again gathers itself and
It's really good.
That was really good.
That's really good.
17 for Pepa.
Pepa is fine. 6 for 6 for Phineas. What you got? What you got, Candace? Oh, 13, I think you're muted.
13.
Okay. Candace, Bo, and Phineas are both frozen, stunned until the end of the nullifiers. Or until the end of this. But Pepa, you are still, you shrugged off the sound and you are free to act.
Pepa is free to act, but currently Pepa is also cannot see. I think striking out in front of Pepa, attempting to connect with the creature that hit her. She takes 2 of those blades, kind of throwing them into the ether, just attempting to strike as she tries to key into where the noise is coming from. Her first, I'm gonna roll real dice. Oh my god,
Which,
no, not
Are you attacking the one nearest to you, or are you attacking the one nearest Bo that seems to be the most injured of the group?
I don't know if Pepa knows or could see that it's injured is a thing, so just the one that's
That's
closest.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The
You
first
do hear it.
The first one, we don't actually need that much to hit. I got a 9.
9 will work.
As long as I don't roll a 1, I'll hit.
Rogues.
And for damage, that's 8 psychic damage.
8 psychic damage.
Oh, I'd be rolling with disadvantage, so let me just roll again. I roll.
Okay.
Nope. Okay, so second offhand attack, 18 and 11, so that's a 19.
That will absolutely hit.
Heck yeah, and that's going to be a D4 instead. That's 5 psychic damage.
So your blades, and you hear it, them both sink into this thing, and you hear this churning mass just gnarl underneath it. And then I have to roll some things real quick. It's totally fine. Not a big deal.
Okay. I don't feel fine.
Bo, this injured mouther near you curls itself up to make an attack. It does not get its loogie back, and it's going to snap at you with its teeth. Does a 19 hit?
Does a 19 hit? It just hits.
Just
Like exact.
hits. Well, that's the bad news. The good news is the other 3 were all stunned by the nullifiers gnashing, because they are actually enemies as well. You take 6 points of piercing damage as this thing actually connects around your leg this time. And it slightly twists your ankle as if trying to drag you under through this putty-like ground. And we are back to Vassal, who is just going to absolutely burn another rage. He's going to... For the next 4 rounds, mist explodes. Everyone regains 5 hit points at the start of their turn for the next 4 rounds. as dream magic rushes out of her, and she again takes another swing. And we are going to use that D8. And that will make her hit. Ha ha ha. Visal cleaves into this haze nullifier with one mighty and it falls to the ground, multiple mouths falling slack, tongues hanging as it just starts to sink into the misty ground and slowly dissipate. And she spins, and her eyes lock upon one of the mouthers assaulting you, Phineas. And it's your turn.
Let's see here. Going to
The one nearest you is moving a little more sluggishly. It is not on its last legs, but you've definitely caused some injury to it.
Okay. Phineas raises, does a quick reach in behind the coat and cape and reaches out with a hand crossbow. Because there's been a lot of energy today. Let something else do the work, obviously. And is going to attempt to aim at the one that has been a little bit injured from the attacks. I almost never use weapons. This is going to be fun. Well, that attack roll was worthless. That's a 6. And nope, I have nothing to add. Literally.
Can you do an crossbow? You have to reload. Do you have any bonus action you'd? It just sticks into the ground just beside it. It's so close.
That is rude.
It's very rude.
No.
I apologize on behalf of your dice.
No, that's quite all right. This is why I never use weapons. They are unreliable, like people.
Obviously.
Can a cantrip be used as a bonus action?
If it is a bonus action cantrip, it'll say the casting time on it.
Nope. Okay. Then no. Let's see here. They are still far enough away that I think Phineas is all right.
All right. And Pepa, you are up and you are no longer blinded. But you did I miss Bo? I missed you, Bo.
I miss Bo, yeah.
Did you attack? Okay. Bo, it's your turn. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The one that's closest to me, is it on its last legs?
It is not looking good. No.
All right. So I think I would like to I think I want to lash out at that one just to make sure that's dead.
Do it.
Oh god. 10?
10
I
will
rolled a
hit.
4 plus 6. Yes? Okay. And then 10 for damage.
10 for damage. It's not looking great. You would like to hit it again. It is still holding itself together, though.
I would like to hit it again because I'm real mad.
As you should be. It's very rude.
That is a 14.
That hits.
And then for damage, that is a 5.
5. You watch this thing. You watch 3 tentacles suddenly come up. You see a mouth on one of the tentacles open and let out this slurping wail as it disintegrates into the ground. And you feel yourself get pushed up back to the surface. as the ground stops being putty-like and your hooves are once again on. As solid as the misty ground here ever gets.
I shake the goop off of my warhammer, and I like shakily point it at the one that's attacking Vassal. You better leave us alone! We're armed! I try to like muster all my strength.
And now back to you, Phineas. Sorry, Pepa. I had to let Bo go.
No worries at all.
So is Vassal currently engaged with one of the things?
Vassal is running up to into one of them. Yes. There is one that's kind of assaulting you, but you should be able to disengage. I will warn you, the area around it is difficult terrain.
Candace, let me know if this is okay. I would like potentially for Pepa to take their string and kind of toss it towards you for you to grab, so you can just kind of yank, so they can just get yanked back.
Absolutely.
All right, so Pepa tosses the string, and as they do, and they kind of ricochet back, going towards you, you hear, "Can I have a hug?" as the string gets pulled, and they...
Quick question.
Yeah.
Are you using a disengage, or are you taking an
I
attack?
am using a disengage.
Okay,
I
just
am
checking.
not
Just checking.
using my
You do
bonus
get
action.
those 5 hit points.
Using that bonus action to disengage there. And I will throw, Yeah, I will throw, as I'm like ricocheting away from it, just getting pulled, one of the conjured blades towards the creature that I was engaged with.
Okay.
And I don't
You are no longer blinded, so I will just say, my cat's trying to climb my monitor. You see one engaged with Phineas and one engaged with Vassal, which would give
do the
you
one with
sneak
Phineas.
attack. Okay.
Sneak attack. Unfortunately, I rolled a 1. So, doesn't matter.
Okay, you and Phineas, you watch as a blade passes just dangerously close to your very nice vest. Very nearly nicks it.
As it passes by, if Phineas is perceptive enough, there's almost like, it looks like a moving picture that's on the blade as it passes by.
There are multiple moods that happen in this moment. Mostly it's and then like this kind of slow motion, like
Sorry.
All right. That brings us back to Vassal, who is going to leave her rage as is because we can all use those hit points. She is also going to heal back up. And then 2 more attacks. Ooh. I'm not even going to roll it. With a natural 20 on one of these, this dice is rolling so hot tonight. She brings this axe down onto this mouther and just decimates this thing. It is utterly destroyed. With 2 successful hits, 1 being a nat 20. She cleaves it down and brings her head back up, locks her eyes onto the one that's engaged with you, Phineas, and will charge towards it. But that is the end of her turn. Bo. There is one currently on its own, which you just liberated Pepa from, and there is one that is harrying Phineas. Neither are looking great.
I'll go for the one that's going to try to get Pepa.
Okay.
And like, as I kind of like focus, I say, Phineas, if you need me, I'll do my best. That's a 24.
Will definitely hit this squishy boy.
13 points of damage.
It's still up though.
but I'm gonna hit him again because
Hit him again. That's what you do.
So I smash that time, and then I like aim again and I go for it. All of my my workouts have done me well. That's 16.
That will hit.
I just rolled another 10. 13.
You watch this thing. You see a thin, sickly mist pouring and just an occasional thing coming up where before is this writhing mass. This thing is barely hanging on. And that would be Dillon's turn, but it is now Phineas.
Let's see. Anything Oh yeah, what's left in front of Phineas?
There is one that's more healthy than you would like. That it's not the one that you finished off, but there was a second one charging at you. It's currently engaged with Purcell, but it's kind of looking like it's going to try to slip away and get you. You feel that it knows you're the easier target. Rude.
Oh, I will try not to be a little insulted by that.
Have you seen Purcell?
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, I get it, but like we're new here, okay? Like treat us.
That's fair.
Or I don't know.
Hazing is a thing on the Godplane, apparently.
It's true. Phineas just stares at this other mouther and just yells enough, except the moment that they yell it almost goes immediately silent, and this very like increasing whisper moves towards it because it's another time for dissonant whispers, and Phineas is about done.
Yeah.
Just please roll poorly.
13.
It's a DC 14.
Oh, you get it.
No, it's been working for Phineas, so I'm okay with this. So yeah, that is that is going to be 8 points of psychic damage towards the
Points of psychic
the
damage.
remain.
It. And you watch it. Oh no, it's now Pepa. Oh, do you have a bonus action?
Not for this, no.
Okay. Pepa. There is one that you were engaged with that is barely hanging on. And there is one that is in front of Purcell, but is already starting to move its way towards Phineas. That is badly injured, but still up. You are muted. Oh. Somehow. Can you all
Aha.
hear?
So knowing that Phineas is definitely a squishier target than Bo, you see Pepa again just runs, is very just running all around the battlefield at this point, and will again throw these blades towards the creature that's attempting to disengage from Purcell and attack Phineas.
And because it is engaged technically with Purcell, you do get your sneak attack. And you still have a D8 inspiration.
I do. That's a 7, but that's going to be a 15. So
That will hit.
heck yeah. Finally, sneak attack. How I've missed you.
It's going to feel so good.
Oh, it does. It does. That is in total 14 damage.
14 damage.
Yeah.
It's still up.
Okay, got another blade, which I'll throw.
Do it.
This one's not going to get sneak attack, but 18 to hit. And
18
that
hits.
is going to deal 5 psychic damage.
5 psychic damage. It is barely up.
Just die already. Gosh.
And with that, I have to roll 2 of these. Do not get their light loogie back.
Oh, good. Don't spit at me.
Phineas, I assume a 7 does not hit you.
No, it does not.
And Bo, I know this does not hit you, so these mouthers reach out and they're trying to bite at you, but they are so weak that you're able to step aside or step upon them. Or how do you two avoid these gnarly, nasty things as they're coming to try and bite at you, but far too slowly? Oh, Candace, you're muted.
Bo sidesteps and shakes her little hoof off like a cat when it steps in something it doesn't like.
Yeah, Phineas just sort of like it is almost as like a matador or a tango, just kind of spins a little bit back out of the way.
And with that, it comes around to Purcell, who looks at the one in front of you. Yeah, and just brings the axe down into this thing, cleaving it in half. It deflates like an ill-cooked flan. Just evaporates into mist. She's gonna run forward to this last remaining one. God, yep. Low HP with a barbarian, or a low armor class with a barbarian. Cleaves this one too, and stands there, panting. You all regain one more batch of 5 hit points as we exit initiative. You find yourselves in this empty space. Misty bodies around you, but slowly starting to evaporate. And there is still no sign of Dillon.
I'm glad that we're all right, but where'd Dillon go? Can we find them?
Purcell looks. Hopefully, they have a god or a connection or something that will bring them back. Pepa, you remember the request not to mention them to Purcell, but you do know that you have a particular partner in the mist that, in the right moment, you could perhaps make a request of.
You see Pepa stop and think for a moment and say,
I have to go grab my stuffing. Give one moment.
and kind of turns from the group and will go over to where they were initially attacked. And as they do, they're going to kind of pretend to be picking something up. As they do, say,
Lancelot, I don't know if you're here or if it's you answering me in these questions, but could you help us find our companion Dillon at all?
There's a slight shimmer, and then a purple mist appears as a very smug-looking feline peers up at you.
Oh,
Now aren't you glad you made that deal?
yes, quite. It was almost like it is definitely fate that we met.
and the smile, that very eerie smile, just spreads across Pepa's face.
Say, I am very glad that we made this deal, yes. Could you help in finding our companion?
They kind of purr at you, very pleased with themselves. And they say, so here's the thing. Mists are really bad for you dreamers. Like, really bad. You should never, friend to friend, partner to partner. And you watch their tail kind of flick. And as it does, you watch the mist behind them move in that same motion. Don't go into the mist. I can't make any promises. I can't. But I'll put out the word.
Okay.
I've got some powers. I've got some connections. I'll try.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I would be very upset if anything happened to Dillon, anything tragic.
Yeah, bad things tend to happen to dreamers in the mist. Again, don't go into the mist. Okay?
Oh, okay, I would keep that in mind next time I am feared by a very eerie, scary creature.
And then all at once, they away. Like, don't even let you finish. And you hear a voice call, "Are you done? We should move on. We've attracted too much attention here."
Oh,
Yes. And quickly kind of stuffing into her hand. Some of the parts of the gibbering mound you see Pepa take. And there is like a opening on their arm, and they just kind of like shove it inside to restuff themselves. And they're kind of like sewing it back up as they come back and say,
I found it, or at least a substitute.
Purcell nods and then gives you all a serious look. I will pray. I will try. The god is weakened. We should go. And with that, she will open a portal, and you all step into a mist tunnel. And we're going to take a break. Because that was one heck of a fight, y'all. Thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us. And we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Thank you for spending your evening with us. And we're back. Thank you for taking that little break with us. You all step into a mist tunnel. Visal, her face still drawn, looks around and grimaces. We need to move on.
Is this place not stable?
I will need time to commune. Longer than it will take here. We'll find a place of rest soon.
I'm ready.
All right.
We don't have any other choice, so fine.
She will walk forward, open another misty path. And I need one of y'all to roll me a d20, please.
Not me.
I can do that this time since I can see. That's a 14.
14. You watch as the misty gate gives way, and you step into a space that is vast. It feels like an open desert, though it doesn't have the expected oppressive heat. Small sand dunes rise in all directions, and the mist moves distantly overhead now. The walls are neither oppressive nor closed in here. You see them moving in the distance, but there's not even a wall behind you anymore. Phineas, do you check your compass?
Yes.
This one also has 2 needles, though one is not that bright blue as it was before. One points to the northwest, past a large rocky plateau. Another points upwards and a little further to the west, but a definite angle upwards and into the sky. There are various... continue.
No, is there anything visible, like easily visible in the way that the other?
There's that rocky plateau, but it's not quite pointing to the plateau. It's like to the side of it, but also higher than the plateau. And all you really see are misty clouds.
The last time we followed an additional arrow, it actually gave us something to help. But this isn't like that. I don't understand how to read this thing. And they look to Bo and Pepa, and not really caring whether Purcell hears them or not. What do we trust?
Well, potentially, this arrow could be leading to Dillon, or maybe something else helpful.
I believe the last time that we trusted it, it led us to something quite helpful. I mean, Vice. Perhaps this has more secrets to unlock.
And I assume that the arrow that has always indicated the safe way to go is Purcell's probably pointed that way.
Yes, though neither of these needles seems more prominent or different from the other.
Purcell,
Yes.
you gave this to me so that it would help guide us, and I am literally getting mixed signals from it right now. What does this mean?
There's not always one way forward. Sometimes there are multiple ways forward. Follow the one that makes the most sense. And when that is not an option, try the other.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Dreams are not places of logic.
I feel like, and considering that they're in the desert now and there are sand dunes and there's just a huge amount of distrust from where they've been, Phineas points toward the one that's kind of pointing up and towards the plateau and says, perhaps this area seems so large, perhaps at least a vantage point would be more advantageous.
Purcell very obviously rolls her eyes, but motions sidronically for you to lead the way.
And so Phineas does, ignoring that shade but tucking it away for later.
You... Very charming. You start forward, and as you go, you probably can't help but wonder if there's little weird things moving just beneath the surface. But thankfully you don't see any of these sanguines. You do see various items scattered about, though, half buried in the sand. The torso of a dressing dummy is off to one side. A statue of a unicorn, 20 feet tall, lies at a strange angle. It's reared up but mostly buried, its hooves and nose and horn rising from the sands. There's strange things all about. As you approach the plateau, off to the right, not the same direction that the upward compass is pointing. The other one points more in this direction. There's what seems to be a strange low wrought iron fence with perfectly manicured grass inexplicably growing inside of it. You all can either continue left around the dune closer to the upward angle, or you can go to the right, which will take you nearer this fence.
I don't mean to sound overly cautious, but usually fences are there to keep things in or keep things out. Either way, considering the horrors that we saw previously, perhaps we go the high route?
That might be the better idea, Phineas, you saying we need the high ground. That would be good to look.
Yes, and something about well-kept greenery implies people, and we've only met one person here. 2 people here who appear to mean us no harm. I don't think I'm willing to go for a third just yet. High ground it is.
So you continue slightly leftwards, closer to this rocky plateau. Strange objects continue to just be littered in the sands. You see an anchor half rising from it, and what appears to be a strange carriage made of metal with one wheel slowly spinning, just half buried in the dirt. And as you approach, it becomes clear this plateau, it is almost a sheer rocky edge. It is going to be a very clear athletics check to climb it. It is not, there's no path up it. It's just natural striatia, but very not smooth, but no clear grips or paths or carving to get up. And the closer you get, the further up and up and up the needle starts to point.
Are any of you good at climbing?
I mean, my hooves might be able to seek some purchase, but without a ladder, I'm a bit rough.
This does not climb.
Oh. Maybe we...
I mean, I obviously, if it is the way we must go, then we must try, but not hopeful.
So the fence then? We're voting to go back to the fence?
It seems like it. I could attempt to climb, but I do not want to leave anyone behind.
Yes, all right, yes, back we go then! You see Bo just, like, nervously grip the hilt of her hammer, like...
Oh, this might be a bad idea, but it sprung to my thoughts. How far do you think you could throw me, Bo?
Oh, probably quite far. I'm very strong.
Oh. Maybe I could go up there and see what is up. If there's something.
Alone?
I mean, if you'd like me to, I don't know. We could head back together, but whatever you all think is best.
I think we've already lost one person too many today. Phineas?
No, we should not split up. GM, like, we saw up, and up. How is the distance estimable by us at all?
It's difficult to tell. The needle isn't... It has gotten shorter as you approached this spot, but you've never dealt with an upwards facing needle before. Downwards, yeah, that one was very short. This one is longer, definitely. But Vassal does slowly shake her head and smirk. You all give up so easily.
Do you want to climb then?
She looks at Bo. And there's something... It's almost playful in her eyes as she says, "Do as the doll asks."
All right.
Before I go, I can keep us all in communication if that is something you would like. Oh, perfect.
And I'm going to use some of my psionic powers here to do some psychic whispers to keep us in contact for as long as we're in a mile of each other. For 7
Nice.
hours.
Nice.
As Pepa takes out these small shards, kind of conjures them in their hands, and offers them to each of you and says,
Just if you put them in, it doesn't hurt if you put them in the side of your head. But we'll be able to hear each other.
Thank you. This is unexpected and quite useful. Do you mind if I pick you up?
Oh, not at all.
Quick
So I put my
question.
little card in.
Does she offer one to Vassal as well?
yeah, Vassal's here. Vassal knows I gotta.
Vassal
Yeah.
will take it and kind of turn it and look. And then look to you and say, "You are surprisingly willing to give up so much of yourself so frequently." And then she will put it in.
Well, I don't know how much there is of me left. So if I can be of use, then I will. And fate brought me to you all, so I will be of use.
Make me either persuasion or straight charisma. Your choice.
I can't do straight anything. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
14.
14.
I'm gonna use one of my other dice, another one of my psionic dice, to add a little bit to that as well. So 14 now goes to 18.
She looks at you, and you see something in your words have come very close to her. And she turns her face away and quietly says, "You should be a bit more selfish. There's little worse than losing yourself. Do as she asked."
Okay, ready yourself, tiny one. I'll do my best to aim you forward. And I kind of like
Just
heck
throw her up.
Pepa. Up, just
Up.
oh, okay.
Phineas points at the Papa's arrow, and
So I do that. Like I go kind of low in between like my knees, and then like just like a child rolling a bowling ball. And I just go, ugh! And I just launch her up as high as I can.
I would like you to roll me a strength check. And Pepa, I would like you to roll me a wisdom check.
16.
16. Pepa weighs nothing. You launch this doll.
Uh-oh.
Are they all right? Are they going to be all right? Is she fine? Like I'm demanding that of Vassal as I'm like waiting.
Saul is just looking up. Tell me you didn't roll a fourth nat 1.
It's a 9. I rolled a 3.
You go up and up and up, and you feel the air rushing past your looped pigtails. And you feel when you're supposed to start falling. but you don't. Unless you want to. Purcell watches as Pepa hangs up there far too long, and then, smirking, looks at you all. Crouches low, leaps into the air, and starts to slowly spiral upwards.
Well, let's go, Phineas. I on the double, I suspect. And I crouch low and like just try to like rocket myself up into the air as best I can.
Wisdom check, please.
18.
You go, and you find that you can go as quickly or as slowly as you would like. Phineas, you're watching everyone float away.
Oh, okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Phineas is actually casting guidance on themselves. And does their best to crouch without straining or ripping or tearing anything, and makes a good attempt at jumping upwards. Trying to... I don't really know how any of this is working.
Wisdom check.
Okay.
I call down to you. I'm going real slow.
Just a straight check?
Just a check?
It's okay, Phineas. I've never been this light in my whole life.
Let's see here. That comes to a 9, and I'm going to... Where's my thingy? I forget how to do stuff. And we're going to add that to it. So 13 total.
You feel gravity fall away as you float slowly upwards. And you are able to control your speed, you are able to loop, you are in a dream, and you are flying.
This is so wonderful.
So you see Pepa just kind of floating around, almost like they might have done it before.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, I thought it would be quite freeing to feel my hooves so far off the ground, but I must confess, I am a creature of habit, and I trust stone. I can get my head around stone and rock, and this is... Well, if I fall, it was nice knowing all of you.
You won't fall.
And Pepa will fly over to Bo and kind of offer her little hands to hold.
Oh, I shouldn't. I don't want to take you down with me.
No, it's okay. If you maybe believe in yourself, you'll be able to stay afloat.
Believe in myself. Yes, that's normal. Yes, right.
Do you want me to believe in you?
Bo's cheeks have this like glowing, like deep, like burgundy blush, and they kind of like look away. If you'd like, this does seem quite fun. Yes. And you see them like trying to relax, and they're just like waggling their arms.
Just relax.
And Peppa's gonna try and attempt to teach Bo how to fly.
Just calm your mind. And...
While watching the lovely moment, Phineas, like, again, paying attention to the compass. What guidance is it giving now?
It's almost straight up and still just a little to the side. You are getting closer. And Purcell has kind of done that thing where she's checked her hand and is floating, you are going to have to go through kind of a misty bank of clouds.
Then, yeah, if there's any sort of control to this, Phineas just kind of wills themselves forward. This all said we were going towards a safe space, so I assume that we'd like to get there quickly. I maybe think fast?
Are any of you going to make perceptions checks as you're flying around, or are you just kind of lost in the moment and perhaps in each other's eyes?
Peppa's, well, button eyes, but Peppa's lost.
Well,
Bo is trying to be lost, but is doing a lot of that glancing at Pepa.
well, Phineas just gonna look at the clouds that are sort of around and maybe in their way, maybe not, to see if it's possible to maybe avoid major clouds, or doesn't trust mist. Doesn't trust mist.
Roll me a perception check if you would be so kind.
Can I roll one too?
Sure.
Oh. Does not like.
Oh, finally, my dice. It's a 22.
I got. Oh, I have advantage. Ooh. Okay.
That shield.
That is. I got a 15, 19.
Okay. As you all float away, Phineas, you look down and you see kind of the edge of that little manicured grassy area that you were floating away from. And you see what looks like a graveyard and 3 figures standing around an open grave. But all that falls away behind the plateau as you all continue forward. Both of you see there are fluffy clouds, and at this place it is difficult to know if it's mist or clouds. But both Bo and Phineas, you do see, it's hard to tell if it's fanciful or not because you are in a dream realm, but some of the curls of the clouds seem to make shapes, almost humanoid figures, weird faces or wings at the edges. There are none that you will have to pass completely through, but you can weave your way slightly around some of these patches. There's not really a blue sky here. There's not really a warm sun, but there does seem to be an open ambient space that's decently welcoming around these clouds.
I feel as though we should not be deterred from our journey, and I know it's a dream, but I don't want to stop and see if I can see anything in these clouds.
Much like the mists.
Don't trust them.
Believe in myself and I go faster.
Probably.
Is that a rule?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not used to this type of... This is new.
I
Perhaps
suppose
if we
we're
all
buildings?
focus. Perhaps if we all focus, and Phineas will reach out to grab Pepa's other hand, and Basal can feel. Basal's here. She knows what she's doing. Whatever.
Basal's not invited to the cuddle party.
No. Just to see if it gives them any further encouragement to move. I don't even know if we have a sense of our speed, a sense of our direction, except essentially knowing that we are sort of following along the compass. So just anything to basically give us a bit of a boost.
Yeah. You all, the more you fly, the more you find, you can control your speed by focusing, and then you can slow down. It very quickly starts to feel very natural, very comforting. But I do need a dexterity check from all of you as you drift towards the compass point.
9.
12.
9. 12.
4.
Makes you feel any better, Vassal only got a 13. So you all drift along and you're weaving between clouds. And it's actually kind of joyous. It's one of the first truly peaceful, beautiful moments that you've had since you've been summoned to this terrible place. And you flit along and turn and dodge past this one cloud bank. And you see one of those figures suddenly seem to solidify and its head turns towards you. And you watch part of this cloud break away. And a strange, almost reptilian creature with webbed wings and large teeth swoops towards you, following your flight pattern as 2 more break away. Vassal has not yet noticed, leading the charge as she flies towards where the compass is pointing, not too much farther ahead. What do you do?
Vassal,
Yeah, no, I don't know how the shards we've been given work, but yeah, there's a less urgency from Phineas because they're used to using communication magic, but Vassal, there's something perhaps chasing us. I know you said we should not run unless we are being chased. I don't know if this qualifies.
this looks like chasing, yes.
Yeah.
Vassal, confused, looks back and goes, "We're being chased. Run." And
Thank you. Confirmed.
Run.
She will start to push herself forward, but she will hang back just enough, weapon appearing, to try and make sure that she can cover you all. As one of these things beats these large leathery wings and makes a dive for you. Let's just see. Pepa, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
I mean, of all of us, though, Pepa's honestly probably the best one to go for that.
That's true. That's a 16.
16. You watch these talons coming at your little doll form. It dives from above, and you easily roll out of the way, remembering your way through the clouds. You've got 2 more pursuing you. This one's a little below. Do you try to fight, or do you rush towards the point, or do you do something else?
Okay, how about we all just fly towards it? Those of us who've ranged, maybe we can cover our exit.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Here, actually, can one of you just hold on to me and I'll throw things?
I'll do that. Yes, I can.
Okay, thank
I
you.
think I can manage.
Thanks.
They just like hold Pepa out, like.
Like a crucifix.
Yeah. It's not about you. It's about them.
I understand. This is fine.
Just this image.
It's all said run. I haven't mastered floating yet.
It's okay.
And you're hearing this inside your head. Pepa's not
Mhm.
speaking out loud. Just a very, not calming, it's just the high-pitched voice of Pepa. Just like,
It's okay. Don't worry. It's fine. Just relax. Think happy thoughts. Probably. If you have any.
I'm so good at that. Yeah. Buildings. Hammers. Tools. Okay. And you just kind of like see Bo like trying to calm down from this panic, still wielding this doll as like a makeshift weapon slash shield apparatus.
I'm going to use that opportunity when I can to start throwing knives.
Yes. I would like for you, Pepa, to make me 2 attack rolls. I would like the other 2 of you to make me wisdom checks.
Got bad news.
Don't have bad news. Have good news.
Oh, no.
Think good thoughts.
No, But that's
25
not
and 23.
natural one.
Okay. Natural 1.
16 on the wisdom check for Phineas.
15. Okay, Phineas, you dart ahead. And you watch as both Bo, holding Pepa, and Vassal fall behind you. Not fall, but fall back behind
Lag.
you. Yes. Pepa, you release 2 blades into... Do you aim for the same gargoyle, or do you go for the 2 that are swooping in?
I'm going to go for the 2 that are swooping in, just attempting to kind of throw them off. I'm going to throw it into their wings. Actually, no, it's all psychic damage. So these aren't actually like even damaging. It's just kind of just psychic damage that's done to them. So just hitting them wherever, just throwing these iridescent blades.
All right, you... One each slams into these strange... And now that you look at them, they are headless. Their torsos, where the head should be, actually split open into these long maws that are toothy and stretch down to where the navel would be. They let out this snarl as they come at you. Phineas, do you wait for the others? Do you do magic, or do you keep going? You can see the compass needle is very short if you check it now.
Okay. Yeah, about how far would these creatures be from Phineas, having gone a little bit ahead of them?
So you're probably within 60 feet still of at least the nearest one.
I like hearing that. That's great. They're yeah, no, these dream creatures are terrible. There is this kind of like pause in midair, which is very odd in itself, and he kind of scans the sky and sees these things, and it's basically going to be using the same magic that he usually uses, which is dissonant whispers. It feels a little more powerful this time, like you almost can feel it coming off of them. But again, that would be, I guess, whichever one seems closest to them.
Yep.
is who they're going to focus on. That's the same DC 14 wisdom.
Okay. Remember what these big boys get?
Let's hope they're not very wise.
That's only a 10.
They're not wise. And you, like, in the sky, the same kind of mist that they were copying in the last time actually does coalesce itself into a cloud. And oddly, instead of a whisper, it flashes green, and there is an immediate thunderclap. And the nearest one to attacking my compatriots will take, okay, it's not a great roll, but it's a roll, 7 points of psychic damage.
Given that we are in this pseudo initiative, I am going to say that it stuns it, and you all are able to put more distance between yourself and this creature. Bo, Phineas, I need you both to give me wisdom checks, and Pepa, if you are attacking attack rolls, or else a wisdom check if you're like, nah, I don't trust Bo no more. It's your call.
Is Bo gonna let go of Pepa, or is Bo still holding on?
Bo's trying to throw Pepa toward Phineas so that they can escape. They feel terrible that they have dragged this very light and soaring doll into this mess. I got a 12.
Okay.
15 for Phineas.
That is an 18 on the first hit and a 10 on the second.
Okay. The first one hits. The other one has kind of fallen back and fallen away because of Phineas's attack. The other one staggers back as it's already opened this weird vertical maw, and one of your blades cuts down into the fleshy bit of it. Phineas, you're ahead, so you can reach out and open the portal if you would like. There's nothing there. There is open air, but you can feel the compass urging you on.
About how far back is Bo from?
Bo will be able to reach it next go in this pseudo initiative. You're all moving pretty closely together, actually.
Okay. Like within 30 feet of Phineas?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a moment where they know that's the moment, but then they kind of look back and see that everybody's fallen back. Phineas actually uses a Misty Step to teleport back to where
nice.
Bo is, so that they can essentially clap a hand on her shoulder and say, "We have to go." Just maybe that little bit of encouragement will be like, "Fly faster."
Yeah,
and Purcell,
it's time to go.
Purcell you're all basically together now. And her axe appears. She says, "Go, I will follow." And she will hang back and just take a swipe at the next gargoyle that comes up. One more wisdom check from everyone. And Pepa, attacks if you attack, or wisdom if you go.
I'll run at this point.
All right. Good luck.
15.
Don't die.
8.
19.
19. Phineas gets there first. They hold out the compass to nothing. And then you see mist swirl and open, and then a yawning portal suddenly appears in front of you. And you all go through. And there's a moment of hesitation as you hear a smack of not the blade, but the flat of Vissal's weapon hitting one of these gargoyles. She uses that momentum to propel herself backwards and through the portal as you all suddenly drop to the ground in the middle of the mist tunnel. That was a change, sorry.
Is everyone all right?
Alive.
I don't think we're hurt.
Okay.
Is it safe here?
Purcell looks and grimaces. This particular space is so small that you all hardly even fit within the small shifting walls. It's claustrophobic. Purcell shakes her head. I think we've come far enough. I'm going to try something. Stay close to me.
That's very easy. It's very cozy.
Fair. Yes. Observant. And you watch her gather magic around herself. And she focuses. Presses her hand into the wall. You watch the mist shift to blue and then to pink and then to blue, and it turns dull gray as she forces her way through. Purcell more falls through this portal than she does step through. Do you all follow?
Yes.
You step through hot on her heels, and you feel something rip from you. You all stumble, almost collapse onto another gray plane, feeling something torn away. You drop to your knees, and Purcell is gone.
Not again!
What?
Purcell!
Can we feel her? Or is the connection severed?
Pepa, you reach out.
So,
There's nothing.
oh, by the Weaver. Oh, she's gone too.
Phineas pulls the compass out to see, at the very least, what the indications of this area are.
You all look around, mostly in a panic, trying to find your guide. You seem to be in what looks like a warehouse. It's dark and vast and empty, and yet various items, from weapons to immaculate ball gowns to ornate suits of armor to cabinets with doors ajar which reveal stacks and stacks of china and flatware, stretch in neatly arranged groupings as far as you can see. And directly down one of those columns, the compass points. As you look, you see an illuminated space. It's tall and it's narrow. It's straight down this aisle the way the compass is pointing. And there is just utter silence around you. The air is stale and tastes slightly of dust. And even as you speak, your words seem to very faintly echo.
Do we just keep pressing forward, then? Just us?
We at least need to find somewhere we know that we can stop for a while.
All right. Maybe the next space we find, next corridor.
Pepa will start making steps forward.
Yeah. Phineas also follows the compass bearing.
As you approach, following the compass's needle, you see tapestries descending from endlessly high up. No, wait. They're curtains, viewed from the side. You peer between them and you see a stage. It's lit, and there are all sorts of fully dressed set props all over it with half wooden walls creating little rooms. Closest to you, you see what looks like a kitchen. There's a fake stove against the back wall with a window and a table with 3 chairs sitting around it. There are 2 dolls which sit in 2 of the chairs. A spread of what looks like high tea, complete with finger sandwiches and pastries. 4 teacups and a large steaming mug sit there. if you peer around the frontmost curtain, you see, squinting past a strange artificial light, rows and rows and rows of empty theater seats.
A play of some sort? Maybe. Or a dream of one.
I've built theaters. I've never been to one.
Whatever's going on here, I have no desire to be in the principal cast. Need to move along.
All right. Let's keep moving.
Checking the compass, you see it's pointing towards the stage, but slightly upward again.
More jumping?
Oh wait, I'm confused. Were we, from our party's perspective, also, sorry, my computer had a freeze there. From our party's perspective, we are on stage, backstage, or in the audience?
You are like in the wings, kind of getting ready to go on stage. You can peer around the frontmost curtain. The backmost curtain is behind this fake set.
Okay. With the compass pointing upwards, is there, where we are, any rigging, ladders, stairways that might lead upwards?
You see some ropes that might raise or lower various backdrops, it looks like. If you peer through the half wall on the other side of the kitchen, you do see what looks to be a fake living room. And there looks to be a working staircase built into this set. It is very elaborate.
Maybe if we push the staircase, we can go up.
The only thing we have to guide us is this compass and, well, our own counsel, so...
Yes, unfortunately cannot rely on Purcell anymore. That's fine.
I'll lead.
Okay, perfect.
It's my fault we're here.
No, please.
It's not. No, don't.
If I had been a stronger flyer, if I had been more determined, I'll make up for it. I'll lead.
Oh. Did you fly often before coming here?
No, but I couldn't even manage the simpleness. It was easy. It was... Pepa, your instruction was really quite good. We have to press on. This isn't about me. I'll lead.
Pepa kind of looks sadly up to Phineas when Bo's not looking.
I shall, I suppose, take the rear. Pepa, stay close to Bo. I don't trust this, but I feel like I've said that all day. Has it even been day? What is I
don't know either. Day and night blend together, but I'll keep eyes out. If I can see anything coming.
So, Bo, you step onto the stage. Anyone who's looking around, give me a perception check.
$15.
15?
11.
11? Bo, are you just going? Are you like closing your eyes and going, or are you looking around too as you step on?
I'm looking around too. I just feel like I have like no options. I'm trying to just like be there for
You're
my
doing
people.
great. You're doing really great.
Great. And you have advantage.
Is 10.
Okay. You all step first into the kitchen, and Bo, I imagine you step out and kind of brace. And nothing happens. Everything seems normal and still. As normal as this is, yes. As you step out, you glance around, you can see that most things in this space are fake. They are props. Some of them look strange and more advanced than you have seen. There is a stove that doesn't seem to require a fire or wood to burn in order to cook. You notice that all of the food spread out on the table is fake. But steam rises from the teapot. It seems to be warm and welcoming. However, Phineas, you had the highest roll, I believe.
Yes.
You glance at the dolls and back to the window and back to the dolls, and you cannot tell if they have moved. Just beyond that half wall is a living room with a large, overly stuffed and plush couch. There is a fireplace with a painted fire, though it feels like it has some kind of enchantment, because if you are not looking directly at it, it seems to flicker. An ornate rug is spread on the ground, and 2 windows and a door on the back wall, with a staircase leading up. Next to the couch is a side table with an odd contraption on it. It's a small box with a kind of sloped front. There's a bent handle of some sort resting atop it, with a spiraled string coming out of the side connecting to the side of this box. A strange gear of circles sits on the front, and a rope of some sort comes out the back and vanishes beneath the rug, and then beyond that, into the wall of the set.
I heard of people who make odd things like artificers. They love to make things. I never understand what any of them do or how any of them work, and I'm certainly not going to touch one here. Phineas continues with them, but is sort of doing like kind of the side walk now in the rear, looking back, because there's only one doll here that they seem to trust at this point, and it's not those 2.
And these 2 are much larger than Pepa. These are like...
Oh, you had to say that.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. So they're more like mannequin adult or mannequin kid.
Mannequin adult.
Okay.
No.
Great. It's great. Okay.
Oh, I think now I understand why you think my appearance is a bit scary.
Yes, but not quite like this.
In a good way.
In the best way.
Thank
Can
you.
we press on?
Of course. Do you think I could take some stuffing from that chair?
Phineas?
Maybe not.
I mean,
If you need it, I will pluck it for you. Don't
it hasn't moved, so perhaps, but I'm not sure if you would anger it if you tried.
That's a good
I
point.
realize that makes no sense.
Oh no, I understand what you mean. It might be moving furniture. And I'd rather it stay still, so maybe I'll avoid it for now. I can find other things to use.
You continue on, approaching the staircase. And Phineas, just as you draw even with that strange box, you hear a bell ring. And then it waits a moment.
The box, it calls to you.
Why does it ring?
Phineas takes out a dagger and pokes at the box with the hilt of it.
Do you poke at the box itself, or do you poke at the hooky-doo on top, the handle on top?
The base, the stable looking bit.
You push the stable looking bit and it slides a little bit. And it keeps ringing. Ring. Ring.
Maybe you pull it? The top?
Or smash it?
Ring.
Phineas picks up the whole thing by the base and just.
And as you pick it up by the base, the top part
Oh.
falls off.
Oh, I broke it.
Oh no!
I scoop it up in my giant hand and I kind of look at it. It stopped ringing.
From the hook, you all hear 6, 3. Wake up while you still can. 6, 1. The dream is a nightmare. 7, 4. She didn't make the dead walk alone. And then the voices all come in overlapping rushes. She's seen it all. Are you really flying if you can't fall? They hunt in the mist. It's larger than it seems. A flood of other whispers fill your ears. And then you hear beep, 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 beep.
I don't like that. I thought the beeping was going to be helpful. That was foolish of me, I suppose. What do those numbers?
Was it more of the bell? Did we all hear that or just Bo?
It was loud enough that maybe some of the
that's
whispers were more difficult for everyone to hear the exact details of, but
They said the dream might be a nightmare, and there are numbers, and they said she made them walk alongside the dead, I believe. Go.
Bo, you look at that box in your hand, and that strange gear has numbers written within the holes.
I dial it.
You just kind of start to turn the gear, and all of a sudden, it starts moving on its own.
No!
6, 3, 6,
No,
7, 4. You
Haunted.
hear boom, click, click. It whispers through demon blood. And then just then you hear a click as a spotlight turns on the three of you. You squint past it and you see what looks to be a large eye that has opened above the empty theater seats. The eye looks this way, and the spotlight moves, and that way. And then it turns again to you all. What do you do?
Is it possible for me to pretend just to be a doll?
Yeah, I like Vinny. Oh, wait. Phineas doesn't have to. He can think it, right? Because we're psychically doohickied.
Yep, you can just think and we can hear.
Yeah, Phineas thinks probably louder than is supposed to be across this connection. Don't move.
You start to hear. Boo. Do something!
Why are they booing us?
Heckles
Are they booing?
and jeers start to
Didn't imagine.
rise from the empty theater as the spotlight starts to narrow upon you all.
Oh,
Just get booed by an imaginary audience.
that doesn't seem good. The dimming of the light. That's probably bad, right?
Someone do something.
Okay, Phineas unfreezes and turns.
Come
toward the-
on! Didn't pay money for you to stand there.
Well,
I can smash things.
smash things. Do that. They love a good
Yes.
bit of that.
Go make me a
Smash.
dexterity saving throw.
12.
A tomato slams into the side of your face.
Oh no!
Who brings rotten vegetables to a show?
And with
I
a
back
sudden
up.
click, the spotlight goes from white to red.
I back up, like struck by this tomato, and I fall and smash the table with my body weight.
You hear a crash as your body hits this, sending this table to splinters. This strange box rolls and is pushed out of the way. You watch as that rope that connected to the wall is pulled taut and then snaps. You hear a scream. And the jeers start coming faster and louder. And Phineas, I will remind you that the compass is pointing almost directly overhead, up that flight of stairs.
I don't like this.
No.
I feel as though this might count under the being noticed and chased rule, and we should run.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's come on. Go. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Kevin's gonna spring back to life.
Okay.
You start to run. And you hear some jeers, but you hear some applause. Yeah, finally, yeah! That red spotlight starts to narrow and narrow. You bolt up the stairs. Phineas, are you going first, or are you still bringing up the
yes,
rear?
since Bo took a spill.
Phineas, you sprint up, and to the left, you see what seems to be a modeled bedroom. And to the right is a washroom, but as soon as you are up the stairs, the compass needle grows short and points directly towards that washroom.
Do our best to turn on a dime.
Turn on a dime. You hold out the compass, and you watch as mist swirls around that door frame. Who's coming up last? Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Oh.
12.
You're running up, and as you do, your hoof just comes out of the spotlight, and you feel necrotic energy seep into your hoof, cold and aching as you take 2 points of damage. The spotlight continues to shrink. Do you all go through, or do you continue to perform?
Go through. It's our finale.
Yeah. We're leaving the stage.
Does anyone leave with a flourish, or is it just paint me a word picture here as this spotlight is shrinking and you hear cheers and claps?
Yes, as Bo makes it through, Phineas reaches behind them and does kind of like a snap in the air and uses prestidigitation, which is a word I can absolutely say, and and a shower of bright green sparks, almost like fireworks, just starts falling as behind us, and there is the look, the 1,000-yard stare off stage into the audience, and it's like just smiling, and it's like backing through the portal.
And as the mist closes behind you, we will end tonight's session.
Oh my goodness.
You all covered some ground.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we've lost 2 members of our party.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
Well,
If
one
you
member
will
of our
just
party and
allow
one
me-
person who honestly is kind of a rude person, but it's okay.
Very
If
stressful.
you will allow me one last little stage setting, I'm going to, I did the roll. You won't like it. But you all quickly move through. You all quickly move through this next mist tunnel, eager to be as far away from that experience as you can. And you step out into a raging storm. Wind and rain assault you as an angry, misty storm swirls and churns overhead. Few trees scattered here and there. They're not overly large. You can easily see both sides of the misty walls of this plain. A small building stands in silhouette before you, defiant in the howling storm. It looks like a small 2-story house from the outside. But it's warm and inviting with the light through the windows. The windows are bright on the lower story, though only one is illuminated on the 2nd story. And as you squint through the rain, you see one singular figure standing in it, a small child. They raise a hand and wave at you. And that's where the adventure ends for tonight.
No.
We will be back next week. Thank
Will we?
you.
Oh,
I mean, hopefully. I mentioned to someone that my friends might not be my friends after this episode. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. It has been my pleasure to be your dungeon master. But before we get any further, allow us to do some quick outros and tell us, amazing people, who you are and where we can find you. And let's start opposite order. Kerri could not be with us tonight, but please go check out Kerri Smith. She does amazing content and a metric ton of it. And you can find her socials are being dropped in the chat. We will see Dillon again soon. Hopefully, maybe, if Mistcat, doesn't suck. Phineas, tell us who you are in the real world and where we can find you.
Hi, I'm Brian, aka Urban Bohemian. You may know me from being Urban Bohemian pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitter is the best way to keep up with me. I stream on Twitch a few days a week. I am taking this weekend off. However, you can hear me on Cyberpunk Independence podcast. You can see me in just over a week or two. Wait, is it a week or two? Yeah, just over a week on Rivals of Waterdeep, a long-running actual play D&D show and podcast. You can obviously see me here on Thursdays, and I would advise you to please pay attention to my Twitter account because there may be things that things. But that is honestly the best way to find out what I'm doing, when I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming. Otherwise, Urban Bohemian all over the places.
And Piper.
Hi everyone, I'm Matihi or Piper. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie Matihi. You can also find me on my channel at Matihi. There's a bunch of things that I'm doing in October. Some of them are still secrets, and will be released soon. So of course, check out my Twitter as well if you want to see what I'm doing. I'm of course going to be running Curse of Lady Strahd over on my partner Emma Panada's channel. And it's gonna be a good time. Some sad stuff happened last time, but get back into it. And then, oh god, what I'm doing so much, probably. Who knows? Also keep an eye out. There's gonna be an announcement. We have to push it a little bit, but it's totally okay because we're gonna eventually on my channel be running What We Do in the Shallows, which is a 5e queer pirate campaign. It's gonna be absolutely amazing, and because there's some pushbacks just for dates, there's potentially maybe some one-shots in the works and maybe potentially if people want to play. I'll be posting about that. But yeah, that's me. That's all my stuff.
And Candace, take us home.
Hi, I'm terrified, also known as Candace the Magnificent. This has been very stressful. I still come back for some reason. You can find me at that Candace girl on Twitter, at Candace the Magnificent, everywhere else. I'm doing a bunch of stuff this month. I am going to be over at Just the Humans channel, I believe on the 21st. For a session of 10 Candles. I'm going to be on Kerri Smith's channel this Wednesday on Outbreak Undead. You can find me over at that D'Angelo's channel on the 16th for some Dungeons and Dragons with our gracious GM. You can find me, there's some stuff that I have that hasn't been announced, so I'm going to be like real quiet about some of it. But then on the 25th, I'm going to be on Transplaner. So please join me for that. And if you want the rest of my schedule, I'm definitely going to be streaming. If you like Halloween music and ukulele covers, whatever, ridiculous, please come to my channel. I'm going to be doing some this month.
An amazing kazoo.
Thank you. Yes, there will be kazoo.
And I'm Kay Purcell. I have been half of your Dungeon Master team for this. You can find me at KDamnFear on Twitter. We covered so much ground, my brain is fried. This would not be possible without David, Full Rubber Ducky, my co-DM, who has been making wonders happen behind the scenes. You can join me every other Wednesday on the Emergency Power podcast for a Starfinder edited actual play, which is super fun. And then David and I appear every Tuesday in the Chaotic Wholesome Talk Show, where we talk about all things TTRPG, from hot takes to intersectionality. Extra special thank you to everyone who tipped and cheered and subbed. Oh my goodness. I know the party really appreciates. They haven't gotten to use the goodies you've donated to them yet, but I know they will once they're able to. Don't forget, you can go to our Ko-fi page and tip to get even more goodies there. Thank you to Emily and David, our mods for tonight. Thank you to Idle Champions, The Forgotten Realms, for the code. Remember to use !code to redeem it. I will also post it in the Discord if you did not grab it just yet. The chest will expire at the beginning of this episode next week, so, do it before Thursday. Thank you again for spending your evening with us for this, I've had fun. I guess other people think it's stressful story. And,
Wow.
Thank you again. In the meantime, we'll see you next week. Be kind to yourself and be excellent to others. Thank you all.